You suck. You're a no talent. If you really had talent, go practice and then get yourself a gig instead of ruining the end of the day for everybody down here. You disgrace. You're everything that's gone wrong in this world. You're a self-consumed, no talent, mediocre piece of shit. And I've earned my right to say it. Okay? I had 200,000 people with Bill Graham.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Thunk Tank Podcast. Hope you enjoyed that little sample of a public freakout. That's one of the many public freakouts we talk about in this episode. As I researched for this episode, by research I mean like just go on YouTube and type in public freakouts, I started to realize that like while they're pretty funny, they're also kind of sad. Like most of these public freakouts seem like they involve like a really hurting person or like just a lonely person or a sad person or something like that. So there is kind of like the sad angle to it, because I think behind anger is often, you know, something a lot, you know, just some kind of pain or whatever. So there is that angle. I'm aware of it. But on the flip side, it's still really fucking hilarious. So that's kind of why we decided to do this episode. I think, if I remember correctly, the first 4 minutes were just us talking about pooping habits. I don't know. It was the second episode of the night, so we were probably, you know, a few beers in already. So skip ahead if you don't like to hear us talk about poop, but otherwise enjoy. And, yeah, Johnny had to leave about halfway through this episode. There was some kind of meatball cooking fiasco in his kitchen that he had to attend to. So you'll hear a little beep halfway through, and Joe and I finish out the episode. All the links for the freakouts that we talk about are in the episode notes with a little description. Definitely check them out because the video is pretty important just to get a visual on most of these freakouts. Lastly, if you enjoy what we're doing here at Thunk Tank Podcast, think about supporting us, maybe $1 an episode or more over on patreon.com/thunktankpodcast. Otherwise, you can support us in easier ways. Just share it with somebody. You know, post it on social media. Just spread the thunk. I think that about does it. Enjoy the episode and see you in the tank.
Attention humans, this is a thunk tank. Please insert this podcast directly into your nearest orifice for viewing pleasure.
Okay, you ready? Oh shit.
Welcome to the Thunk Tank. Welcome to the Thunk Tank. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Welcome. Come into our Thunk Tank.
Luke, don't switch to the other peanuts.
Welcome to the Thunk Tank. Come in the tank. We're thinking, and we're drinking,
And we're thunked.
and we're thunked.
Oh my god, I'm probably more beer than man if we go far enough back at this point.
And yeah.
No, because my point is, if I don't shit before I leave for work, I definitely have to shit once I get to work. And that's a whole other factor of time before I have class.
Oh, but
that I have
I
to
would always
calculate.
prefer to shit at home than at work, wherever.
I would,
I'm
but
going.
sometimes
totally
I'm not ready.
opposite.
Dude, sometimes you...
I
You're the
always
total
shit at work.
opposite?
Sometimes you open the oven and it's not ready to come out yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I only ever shit at work.
I spread, he
If
goes.
possible.
I spread on the toilet. I ask God, please let me shit.
What do you?
And it's like-
What do you mean you
No,
only
no.
shit at work?
Like when I have a regular schedule, I
When his schedule's
I train
regular?
my bowels to go at work.
You train your
Bullshit.
valves.
If I go twice a day, I'm going at the beginning and end of my shift. You don't know that it's a Chinese proverb? Pretty sure it's Chinese. Yeah, you don't know this?
This is
No,
pretty
go-
good.
go
on.
on. How
does it
Go
go
on
again?
with
Let me
your
think. It
Chinese
goes,
proverb
What
about
a better
shitting
way
at work.
to open this episode.
I mean, it's not specifically about capitalism. It's one of their philosophers, but it kind of applies.
Confucius.
I believe
say.
it goes somehow. It's not Confucius. Not everyone.
confuse
from
it
China is
say.
Confuciusly
Confuse it
racist.
very. It's mixed up often between those two, but confuse
I believe it goes.
Also, great philosophy.
And I quote: "The boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I shit on company time." I believe that's how.
That's
it goes.
not bad, actually.
So it rhymes
Right?
in English, but does it rhyme in Chinese?
No.
Uh-huh.
But my point
Yeah.
is that you have to, if you're going to shit at work, you have to plot out ahead of time, because it's not as simple always as just going in and just unleashing. Because sometimes I go into the bathroom and I think, there's 2 other people in here. I kind of don't want to just
And if I go
say,
into a
hey, Frank, and then
Yeah,
go
yeah.
in and be like,
Yeah, you
Like-
got to find your bathrooms.
yeah, I got to kind of find a...
No, you just
somewhat-
pray loudly while you're doing it, or sing. Better yet, sing the Battle
Johnny,
Hymn
we're
of the
talking about
Republic.
keeping our
and they'll
jobs.
respect you in the hallways, Joe. Those people will move out of your way, say good morning to you, be polite. If you while you're dropping the worst, most atrocious shit, you say, "Mine eyes have seen the glory coming up." They're gonna be like, "Holy crap! Is that Joe? Is that?"
And they're
Joseph
also
again?
never going to fuck with you. They'll assume
And then you
that
stop,
have
and then
a
you
shotgun
stop
in your
singing
pocket.
as soon as you come out of the stall. And they go, "What's that about?" Be like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I must be like a tick, a nervous."
No,
tick
you
I
do.
don't
You
even
just
notice."
brush it off. You just like brush off your sleeves, and it's like,
Yeah.
what is he brushing off?
Yeah.
It's clearly not
What did he do in there?
shit, because
Yeah.
he would have to take a shower if
So
that
I
were the
prefer
case.
to poop at home than do any of this.
Well, now I do after talking
Well,
about
you
this.
work in people's houses, Luke, so I get that.
I've only used the student's bathroom once.
How did that go?
I work
really
at bars
had to pee.
though.
I was like, I'm
and
so sorry. Can I use
so,
your
like,
restroom?
And what they say?
So when I
Yes.
bartend, yeah, they give you a look like I hope you're not going to stink it up, right?
Well, I mean, I would never ever poop in that situation unless it's an emergency.
Why not? See, this is why I've trained myself to poop as
One,
fast as I pee.
can when you go into
That's a better
bathroom
training to
pee,
do.
whether you're a girl or a guy. It could theoretically take the same amount of time if you're a guy and you're gonna like wash your hands, like make your hair fix a little bit, and then go out. It's the same time as peeing, wiping, whatever girls do.
Whatever girls do, you know,
when
with
you
all
make
their
your hair
extra
fix a
parts
little
that
bit.
they have.
Well, I mean, they have more to worry about, like depending on what's going on.
What could possibly
I don't
be
know.
going on?
I don't know
Luke?
what goes on in there. My point is like it's
They have couches.
They got couches. Who knows what they're doing in there?
yeah,
who knows?
exactly. Can we agree that a minute is a good time length for a pee?
When you enter the bathroom until you leave.
You enter it. and
I
you-
would say 2 minutes.
2 minutes is a maximum, but 1
Is a
minute is
maximum.
like an ideal.
That's pretty quick.
I'm never more than a minute.
You don't wash your hands, do you?
Define washing.
Way too slow of an answer.
No, but like with pooping, like it's
You better
for
wash.
some people it's as much as like 6-7 minutes, and for the really fast ones, they're still at 3 minutes.
But I sometimes
So I
pee
notice
without
when I
touching
finish
anything,
peeing,
so
if
why
I
should
sit
wash
down,
my
I can
hands?
usually pee a little bit more. Does that
We'll
mean
get
I
to
have
that.
the stone?
Wait, you pee more when you sit down?
Yeah. Does
Well,
that mean I have a
sometimes
kidney stone?
sometimes I do number 2, and then I stand up to leave, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to pee, and I have to
Oh,
go
never.
back for round 2. Ironically, for number 1.
I sometimes sit and pee like when I get up in the middle of the night. What are we talking about for this episode?
Oh yeah, welcome to our episode all about public
we started?
freakouts.
Yeah, we're starting.
Oh, jeez.
This
That's
is
a hell of a
This is
prologue.
the public freakout episode.
Well, people freak out about
I would
public
freak out
poops.
over listening to this if I clicked on a freak out episode and they were just talking
You heard
about
that
shit,
for
I'd freak
10
out.
minutes.
No, we'll warn them in the intro if I remember.
If we remember as we keep drinking beers.
Um,
So how do you define public freakout?
well, let me tell you first why I thought it was a really great Thunk Tank topic. Like my favorite.
That I came up with, but okay.
Nevertheless, I can still say why I think it's
No,
a
no,
great
go ahead,
topic
take it
that
over, Luke, go
yours
ahead.
truly came
No,
up
no,
with.
go ahead, take credit, Luke.
So when I was thinking this topic up, it's like perfect like Thunk Tank topic level because it's just stupid and
'Cause you thought of it?
ridiculous on one level, but there's some kind of depth there that you might be able to get to if you have enough beer.
Oh, there's something there.
Like me and
I
Yanka
think there's a
both
lot
like
there, yeah.
I told her we were doing a public freakout episode, so like we spent one night just like on YouTube trying to find the best one.
Who's Yanka?
My girlfriend?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody knows who that name
Your
is.
your girlfriend?
Yeah. Oh, fiance.
Oh, okay.
But nobody
Way to
knows who that
introduce her.
is if you just say it.
That's true.
Well, you're just like, oh yeah, you know, Frank told me this.
Like I say my wife, Kara. Like I tell people who I'm talking about.
Yeah, fair enough. I forgot we were doing a podcast. I'm kind of stoned.
So
I thought we were just
Push
hanging
that
out with
CBD.
Johnny in a robot screen.
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great episode because part of like a lot of stuff changed with cell phones everywhere. You know, like
For sure,
like that
yeah.
Seinfeld episode we talked about where they can't find their parking spot. Like you just take a picture of where you parked now, so you remember.
Or there's an app for that.
Or like where
Definitely
they,
an app for
or
If
you know, the
take Google Maps there, it'll
Shakespearean,
save it automatically.
the
Yeah, there's definitely
Shakespearean
an app.
tragedy where you just keep missing the person, and like
say
you know the
Syrian
audience has some
tragedy?
information that you just want to tell the people on stage. It's like now you would just
Dramatic
text
irony?
them. Like a lot of those. What?
Like dramatic irony, like when you're watching something.
Yeah, like a lot of those things like don't really exist in that form anymore because of cell phones. But people have always had freak out moments where they just snap and have a meltdown or
Yeah.
a breakdown. It's just because of the cell phone now we get to see it.
Yeah.
And part of that state of the public freak out is just being oblivious to your surroundings. There can be people staring at you. There can be people with cameras. There can be nobody around. You're just too caught up in the moment. So that's why you'll get like videos where someone's like got a camera in their face as someone's screaming like racial slurs at someone
Right.
committing a hate crime.
And they can't
it's like
even-
they should. Yeah, and if on any other day that person they might be crazy racist, but they probably have the wherewithal to go like, I should watch what I say here so I don't ruin my whole life. But in that moment of the public freak out, they just freak out that like they don't have any more chicken sandwiches at Popeyes, and they just jump the counter and try to fight the person and like
But
rip their hair off.
Wouldn't you say it's also a case usually of the straw that broke the camel's back?
Yeah, you don't know what this person's day or
like-
life is like. You're just seeing the minute video where they freak
It
out
could
and it
be
gets captured.
anything, and it's not to say that they're right. They probably should have become mindful of their like boiling kettle nervous system, like before they ran out of chicken at Popeyes or something. You know what I mean? But it's always something small that you can tell they need to overcome it.
And
in this
food is a big
freakout.
one because people are hangry. And like I remember when I
Yeah.
started at the Barrel Hall, my last job, I started with a bunch of like restaurant bar people and I was like one of the few craft beer bar guys like coming into it. And like the way they were talking about, and they were like just rushing to help customers, and like it's like you're going way too fast. Like, yeah, but I'm getting the beer to them quick. Like that's what they want. It's like no, nobody's hangry here. Like nobody's hangry for a beer. They're gonna get the beer. People will stand online for 30 minutes in a busy bar waiting to get a drink. Like they came to
Yeah.
the bar to hang out. It's not a restaurant where they want their food. They were hungry when they got there, or they wouldn't be there, and now they're gonna have to wait another 30, 40 minutes to get seated, get their order in. So anything that fucks that up, they're already so close to the cusp. And it's just so that's why a lot of the really juicy videos are, you know, a restaurant,
In
or it's usually
restaurants,
or like a Waffle House.
That's
which,
interesting.
you know, it's its own thing.
I think it's also like a factor of like, have you ever freaked out by yourself?
Yeah.
Like, let's say you wake up, you know, when you just like don't sleep well, the phrase is you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, right? Just means like your nervous system is just like unsettled the whole day. You didn't sleep well, you didn't get good deep sleep, so you're just sort of irritable. And I've learned how to take that
That's
pretty
every
lightly,
morning.
like the older I get.
That's just life.
I used to wake up irritable and like not realize like, hey, this is irritable, Luke. And I would like trick myself into thinking like the little like things I notice I'm right about, like, you know, like just spreading like that kind of energy to the
Yeah.
world. And now I can try to take it lightly, but sometimes when things pile up, let's say I realize I'm running late, but I started cooking an omelet, and then as I'm like carrying 2 eggs over to put in the pan, and I drop them, and now like I'm just fucking pissed and late, and I'm not going to be able to shower, and like all these things are crushing down on me.
Yeah, can't jerk off.
I
no
can
time.
see how the public freak out like builds up.
See, but part of it is your momentary state. Like you said, you're running late, you're hungry. Now you're going, fuck, I know I'm not going to have time to eat. I don't know when I'm going to get time to eat. This throws my whole day off. I'm going
Yeah.
to be hungry till who knows
And I'm
when.
going to be teaching
Mine
this
are
miserable
usually-
job and hungry, and like my brain is going to be foggy and all, and
Yeah,
it's
I
just
do that a lot.
boils, and I can. So what I'm trying to say is I fully empathize with the public freakout. I understand the energy that leads to it.
It's like a singularity. There's a critical mass that leads to just this explosion of unpredictable.
But when you're by yourself,
breath.
you can only do so much. It's when you're in front of other people that you find a way to blame them. You're like,
I don't
if
know-
you weren't so goddamn tall standing by the sink, I wouldn't have dropped these fucking goddamn eggs.
But that's you're right. That's an outlet. But a perfect example is the Long Island mini bagel guy.
Oh yeah, we
And
should start with him.
We'll talk about him.
we should start with Chris the Bagel Guy.
Oh, I call
Johnny's on a
Chris-
first name basis.
I call
So-
him Mini Bagel Mike, but he
No,
says
no,
he says
I've
in
been-
an interview though that after that whole incident happened, I mean, we'll talk about it, but he said like, oh yeah, now my leg hurts, and the interviewer's like, why does your leg hurt? And he's like, well, I went out like yesterday because I was so pissed off, and took one of those New York Yankee mini bats, and I just was bashing the tree over and over and over
He says
and
it
over.
like it's not a weird detail.
And he's like, and it broke and bounced off, and it bruised my knee, and it's like that. If people had observed it, would have been a public freak out. Been this guy who had just been like, and like started, hacking at a tree with a mini baseball bat.
So the Jim and Sam show on Sirius XM radio, great show. They had him on like that week because he's on Long Island and they're based in New York City. So they had him on for like an hour. And it was hilarious. The interview they were doing with him, it was great because they weren't being dicks to him, but they definitely weren't trying to make him look good.
Yeah,
and
which is
they were
every
just being
interview I've
honest.
seen with
They were
him.
just giving an honest representation of the guy. But you find out he lives in his van.
Yeah.
Yep.
He runs some sort of cleaning company.
Yeah.
Sounds like office cleaning at night. So he doesn't see a lot of people. And he like fishes. He hangs out at the marina. It sounds like he lives at the marina, and like he lives off fish. He sells fish and he cleans carpets and smokes a lot of weed. So and he's a short guy who is divorced. So clearly probably hasn't
I heard
spoken
he has a tiny
to.
dick.
he probably does.
Oh shit!
But
No,
he,
I'm too close to Bayshore.
He's like, yeah, that's true. He's like if Frank Reynolds had been born into like Long Island poverty. It sounds like.
But so that place was called So that place was called Bagel Boss, and he was everyone was calling him the Bagel Boss because he made a scene in the bagel store. In case no one knows what we're talking about, he flips out because he interprets it, some giggling from some female bagel shop staff as an attack on him, and he starts bashing
he thought
women.
that they
Says,
were
I'm sick
giggling
of used
at-
women.
No, there was something where somebody said a comment or he asked a question, and I think when he saw them giggling, he thought that they interpreted what he said as
They
like,
were giggling at him.
They were giggling at him because they were like, look at this fucking tiny dude.
And it's like it was so clear though that I'm sure many women were cruel to him.
Yeah.
Or many women were just honest with him and he interpreted it as cruel.
I don't think he's wrong about that part.
I think the bagel shop women were probably just like, hey, dude, chill out. You're yelling egg whites at this Asian worker who clearly English is their second language. So
yeah, but they were also probably like,
No,
guy's short as
he got
fuck.
in trouble.
maybe they got to that point. Maybe not. I don't know. But either way,
it doesn't warrant his freak out.
It's not
the point.
But it's not
enough
our
to,
responsibility to be so worried about.
But it's enough to push him over. It's enough to hit that critical mass.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
and maybe
I
he
think
had a
that's what
horrible
happened.
morning. Maybe he.
It sounds like he has a horrible life. I think he's diabetic too. He said.
Did you see when the fly started getting up in his face in the interview? And he's just like sitting there, and he's just like the way he grabbed his right hand, just smacked his head to kill the fly. I was like, Jesus, like
The guy's got issues. All right, here I got
down.
the video.
Yeah, sorry,
I got
go
the
ahead,
video.
John.
oh, let's just hear it. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
You're great women. Why is that okay?
Why is it okay for women to say, oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites? You should be dead? That's okay?
Who said that to you here? Nobody.
Women in general have said it on dating sites. You think I'm making that shit up? Everywhere I go, I get the same fucking smirk with the biting lip.
The biting lip.
Shut your mouth. You're not God or my father or my boss.
Those are the 3 categories he has of people above.
Dude, you want to step outside?
his line.
You want to step outside? Huh? I'm not scared of you, pal.
Enough.
You shut up, too.
Shut the fuck up.
Go ahead and attack me, Jake.
Oh my god. I just want to bagel.
So
That's
like a
Long
pretty
Island,
big
bitches.
dude
Don't tell somebody to
tells him
attack you.
tells him to calm down, to shut the fuck up. And he goes, then attack me, dude. So he attacks him because he kind of asked him to.
Yeah.
So like legally, I don't know if he really has an argument there.
But that is
'Cause
such
he-
a Long Island, New York exchange. That
But
just
do you know
happened
I did
right
not
there.
realize it was from Long Island or New York?
Oh, I totally knew when I saw
found
the
it
clip.
first
Instantly.
on like some kind of Instagram, like one of those channels that repost
Did you hear him
things.
talk, dude?
I did.
Well, because think about it, a guy like that, a weird
yeah.
dude like that on Long Island, where does he have to go to socialize besides the bar, which isn't really healthy for someone unstable like that, shouldn't be hanging around alcohol, or a marina under a bridge. Like,
Or the bagel
I
on a
get the
bridge
feeling
over.
he's eating fish under a bridge like a fucking golem.
Like Frank Reynolds.
I'm just saying, Long Island does not have much in the way, I'll say it, much of culture or things to do.
Yeah,
I've always
sucks
called
that
Long
way.
Island a cultural wasteland.
Yeah, I've lived here most of my life, and I utterly agree.
Yeah, so think about a
some
guy like
reason,
that
people
that
come
is
here to
not
just be
operating.
boring and, like,
He's not
dead
operating
inside.
with the same.
Jared, did you park the car?
Yeah,
I
worry
parked
about
it as
details
close
like
as I
that.
could get. Well, it's not close enough.
I told you not to park it.
Well,
like
I'm about
that.
to freak out, Helen. You have any other options?
You're not giving away a water pick.
That's basically.
Yeah, if you have a
folks Long
family
Island.
already and all you care about is your dumb intra-family, like suburban bullshit, Long Island's great for that.
Yeah, it's
There's
great
not-
to be
the real world
come,
won't push into that. if
Be
you can afford it.
miserable, die slowly. It's fantastic. It's the best. But yeah,
but
mini bagel.
if you're
Mike.
a broke carpet cleaning guy who lives in his van and you can't even get online women to date you because you're so short, the only girls that probably go out with him are like, I'll get a free meal out of it and maybe he'll be nice. And they're like, he's weird and not good looking. So,
Yeah. But he also
10
said,
years-
like, the way he described how the women in the place were mocking him was also how he's definitely been treated, or he's definitely seen women who have very clearly, identified the fact that, like, yeah, you're weird and short and whatever else. So he's making correlations that may not be causations, but they're enough to tilt him over the edge.
Sure, yeah.
it's colored his whole worldview at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
That
Well, did
all
you hear-
women suck.
Yeah,
In his
exactly.
mind.
In his
Yeah.
TMZ interview,
I didn't
they were-
see that, yeah.
They were asking him a bunch of questions like,
The Joker video is better. That's the one you need to watch.
well,
Really?
so they asked him like, "Are you racist?" And he goes, "I got tons of black friends." And he goes, "I'll tell
That's
you
a
what."
very Trump thing to say.
I know, but then
Yeah,
he said,
and he goes, but if
one
I'm
of
wronged
them
by one of
if
them,
one of them robbed me or like took something from me, then yeah, you'll hear some slurs coming out of my mouth, but it's got nothing to do
no, he
with
says that word will slip out of my mouth. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you admit to using the N-bomb? You live in a van. No one hears you say it there. Like, it's not like he has a
Squeeze it in
radio
his
show. He said it on stage. He needs to defend it. Like, he just volunteers information he doesn't need to.
And then they ask him, "Do you think you're misogynistic?" And he goes, No. Like, like egotistical? And he goes, "No, misogynistic." He goes, I don't know what that means. And he goes, like you have a problem with women? He goes, "I got no problem with women. Women, let me tell you something. Men are simple. Like, we just want to come home, eat some food, go to sleep, work a good job, make some good money."
He's not wrong.
He's not, like, that's what I mean. Like, he was speaking some truth. He was just so confused. And my ultimate emotion was I felt bad for him.
I feel very bad for him.
I feel
yeah.
bad for him.
I think,
but also,
I think if he had, like, a great therapist and some...
Oh, he should be in
some of the right
therapy.
drugs.
Yeah.
Like he could like
Some of the right drugs, yeah. Whatever drugs he's on right now,
Yeah.
they're not the right ones, yeah.
So to make you guys feel bad, apparently he got arrested last week and was taken to the psych ward. So
That checks out.
Is that true?
For what?
Yeah. I don't know. He got in another fight or argument with someone who was screaming. There's another video a few months ago where he
Yeah, this was definitely
was in a
also not his only
7-Eleven,
freak out.
and the guy asked
Oh,
him,
yeah.
"How tall are you?" And he flipped out on the guy. And he started filming. He called the cop, and the cop came, and he's trying to tell the cop this whole story. He goes, I lost this big account, and things are tough, and I tried to come here for a coffee. This guy's. He goes, whoa, why? The guy's such a New York cop. He goes, "Why am I here?"
Yeah.
And he goes,
That's
"Yeah, he's
such
mean
a
to
New
you."
York cop
He
thing.
goes, "That's not a crime." And he goes, "It's not harassment. It's not a crime."
But how is that not
And he's like-
harassment?
Yeah, and
He
he's
asked him
like,
a
if I see a
question, though.
chick with nice tits and I start talking about her tits, that's not a crime. And the cop looks at him in the face and goes, "No," just because he doesn't want to deal with it.
Because he doesn't want to deal with
He's
the
like, "Do you
situation
want me to
at
fill out a
hand." He's
police
like,
report
I have
right now
heroin
that he
to
was mean
bust.
to you? Because I could do that." He's like, "Yes." He's like, "All right, fine."
Yeah, but doesn't he have a point? I mean, like, isn't this like a
It's a form of body shaming, right?
No, but
I for sure don't think it should be illegal
No,
to
I don't-
make fun of anybody. It's just a shitty thing to do.
it's a shitty thing to do. But is his my point being is his freak out? Is it really that unwarranted when we think about how he feels about it?
Well,
right? Like
it's unwarranted.
if modern society is all about how we feel and how it's all about
It's
your
unwarranted
interpretation
that we
of
don't
feelings.
sympathize with him.
That's what I think. It's and it's fucked up that every interview you see is
People making fun of him and cashing
even
in
the
on
News
his,
12, which is the local news
Fuck
Long
them.
Island
They
station.
they were coy
Very-
in a coying.
I would even say it was like callous. Like they were leading him on.
They were
in a way
leading him on to
to
look
get clips.
more and more stupid to get clips.
to get clips.
and
Yeah,
the guy was in the way he was leading him on. He was making this.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. Do you remember when
Well,
the
that's
Mooch
news, baby.
No, there's something
Scaramucci-
morally wrong with that. There's nothing legally wrong.
When,
with it.
when
exactly,
Scaramucci
yeah.
called up a New York Times reporter and was calling all these people in the press cocksuckers and stuff and just thought it was off the record.
I missed
and
that
the,
week. I was
the
camping.
reporter talking to him was like, "Okay, I'm not going to stop the guy." Like, what'd you say, Joe?
I missed the Scaramucci week. I was camping. I was at the cabin upstate.
Oh, yeah,
I
it
came
was
back
great
and people
before
were
he
like,
even
"The mooch
started
is
the
no
job.
more," and I'm like, "The fuck is a mooch?"
Yeah, he thinks he's going to run for office too now. That one,
Whatever.
But
So at the heart of these public freakouts is mostly like I end up, even the nasty ones, like, and like I've got some nasty ones. Like at the heart of that, underneath that, like there's some amount of like weird, fucked up life circumstances and like personal hurting that you're going through that leads you to be so attached to being right in this like public space where all the social pressure should
need the attention.
Should be like making you not do this.
Right.
This wave of energy is so strong that you don't give a shit about. I'll tell you this, and you're just going off, and it's like, why don't you just go home?
Yeah.
Like,
you don't
did you watch that video I sent you with he has the Joker face paint on?
Yeah,
and he
that
rants
was
about
weird.
all these awful women, and then he just ends,
van,
and he's about to hang up, and he goes, "Oh, and I am not a rapist or a racist." And it's like, why would you even bring that up, dude? Like,
did you see that, Joe?
No, he wore
Bagel
Joker
boss
makeup.
guy wore Joker makeup and then did a live stream from his car.
Jesus, that must have gotten hits.
It's a long one. I don't want to play
it. Got like 4,000 views. Like,
I feel like it should get more. But the thing is that, but like I do sympathize with him on the grounds that I mean he's definitely been mocked and ridiculed.
He needs a place to stay. Would you let him into your spare room here?
I wouldn't let him near my property.
Okay, I'm just making a distinction for the audience before they think too highly of you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a piece of shit. I would kick his tiny ass out.
I
would skip him like a stone right off across the Sound to Connecticut. Fuck that guy.
If he was 7 feet tall and talking like that in the bagel store, I would just left. But that guy getting short, threatening women, I'd get tough with him too. Why not?
Well, that's the best part about it. He's like, "You want to fight?" And the guy's just like, "Yeah, I'll just choke you out." And he does it.
The tall guy who's like twice his height was
it's like,
"Yeah, I'm a wrestler."
Because in his point of view, it's like
I'm a Long Island wrestler, like half the population.
He's probably like, I've always wanted to like fight a child, you know.
And this is the
like
best chance,
like at the end of Step Brothers, like I've always or in Always Sunny when they just beat up all the kids. It's like, but I get in trouble for that. But you're basically the shape of a child, so I could fight you.
By the way, listeners, we'll post all the links to these videos so you can see the visuals if you somehow haven't caught these. And some of them you probably haven't. Like the one I want to play next is like this. Basically, this trumpet player was busking in New York City, and they were just like posted up in a corner, case open, like where people throw change in, and you know, trumpet's a little bit loud, but it looked like it was in the city. It's like, guess what else is loud? The city.
Yeah, right. The whole rest of it.
He also didn't sound very good though. He's playing "Oh Susanna."
Well, I think at that point he was just trying to like be a bug spray to this old guy. So basically, this old 65-year-old guy with like the kind of like grandpa pants where the belt is going around like the nipple area, and you're just like, where does the torso begin and the legs start, and like it's really confusing. This guy goes up to him in the corner, and the video starts where you can't really hear the guy talking too much, so I'm going to start it towards the end. And the guy's just yelling and telling this trumpet player, like, go find a studio somewhere. What are you doing out here? This is a neighborhood. You suck. You don't even sound good. Like, go practice before you come out here and play that shit. Anyways,
all right, let's hear it.
This clip is where the guy comes closer to the screen. Joe, have you seen the picture of this guy yet?
No.
I'm gonna show you the image so you.
I always forget Joe doesn't watch our clips, so that makes these.
I did no homework for this episode.
Oh, he's too good for it, John.
I refused on principle.
He's a professor, so he just understands everything.
Well, no, I know everything.
That sounds right.
Anyways, here's
the
the
difference.
clip.
You fucking idiot. Load.
Anybody know who you are? Maybe everybody else wants to enjoy the peace and quiet. This is one of the most important places in all of North America. Who are you? Who are you?
That's not a real person.
You miserable, presumptuous, no talent. No talent. You're no artist. You're not an artist. An artist respects the silence. It serves as the foundation of creativity.
Wait, we gotta pause there.
Can I tell you something else? You're banned.
He says in the middle of this angry tirade, he goes, an artist is someone who like, wait, we got to hear that again. He says
an artist is someone who supports the silence or
which
respects the silence that supports.
All right, just go back.
Creativity.
I want to hear that
again.
again.
Back.
Yeah, let's dive back in.
An artist respects the silence. It serves as the foundation of creativity.
An artist respects the silence. It serves the foundation of creativity. This guy's angry and yelling that. Hey, Kara.
That's a real person?
Say hi, Kara.
That's like an actual human? Like, that's not an app?
No, this is a real human being.
I don't believe it. That doesn't... okay, whatever.
Hey, Kara.
Yo, what's good?
I'm starting to notice that a lot of these public freakout people are more creatures than people.
Yeah, you want to... Wait, I wonder if she's seen this image.
It's a hell of an image. We'll link it in the description,
You miserable,
folks.
presumptuous, no talent. You're no artist. An artist respects the silence. It serves as the foundation of creativity. You obviously don't have the talent.
And he You obviously don't have the talent.
But I have a question for you guys. How often, I mean, probably rarely, but have you guys had a public freak out? Because there's got, okay, never mind.
Sorry, she doesn't know what we're talking about.
No, that was a really good question.
Oh, okay. You want me to put her back on?
Yeah, that was a great question. Why are you just shutting down your wife?
Wow, I'm not surprised though.
Yeah, he would shut down his
He
wife.
would shut
Wow.
down a woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
Wow.
welcome back.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. So
Oh, thanks.
yeah.
So, Kara,
Always-
this
always
is
a pleasure, always a pleasure.
a weirdly tiny person, like whose like pants are like strapped around.
Yo,
their
the pants
nipples.
is like 90% of that person. It's like it goes up to.
So let me play
Oh,
just
God.
another 30 seconds of this. This is this guy just freaking out at a trumpet player busking.
Oh, that's a guy.
Have enough respect for yourself or other people. Learn what it is to express yourself. In music or any other form of creativity. And I'm an NYU film school graduate, sucker, and the School of Visual Arts, and the Academy of Art University in San Francisco. You suck. You're no talent. If you really had talent, go practice and then get yourself a gig instead of ruining the end of the day for everybody
It's
down
like a
here.
character from The Princess Bride or something. Like,
See, I
love
see
when he
that
just
guy
goes, "You
sorry. I see that guy as Luke after a really
After
bad
I fail,
day.
whenever Luke fails, finally, that will be it.
I'll turn
yeah.
into that. Yeah.
I'll tell you something else. You got no talent.
Right,
Be
if-
like, Luke, your accent became wildly
like-
more New York.
If
all of a
Yonka
sudden.
dies and I'm just alone and like my trumpet playing fails, I'll turn into the old guy that grabs a bag of books. What was in his bag?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, earlier, by the way, he swung the bag at the trumpet player when he went to continue playing.
To open?
no,
That's
to like
Luke just knocked down a bunch of shit. He's freaking out.
we're all good. East Coast Studio.
East Coast Studio keeping it real.
Level of a dub dub.
Yeah, so I think that is a clip, and
So, Carrie, you asked if we've ever had a public freak out of our own.
I don't
covered it, whatever.
I don't know.
I would
Can-
say,
I
for me
feel-
personally, I've only had an almost public freak out in like a relationship fight in public because like the two
Oh,
of
that
you
makes
can
sense,
kind of
yeah.
create like a little bubble where you forget you're in public. And you're in a restaurant and you go like, you know what, you fucking bitch, like maybe and
But that's not a
never
freak
Yeah,
out.
those times that happens.
You would have to
Your
storm out. Have you had a public freak out? Your
Me?
eyes just got really wide when I asked that question.
She's definitely had freakouts. I've been there for several of them.
Kara says
How about
no,
the
and
time you
Johnny's
almost
like,
got
I think her
me
eyes got
arrested
wide, like,
because
which
the
one
cop
should
wouldn't
I
let me
possibly
get
tell?
out of the car and
Oh,
put you.
that was a good one.
Wait,
Joe,
wait.
you were there for that.
oh, is that the one where I had to negotiate with the cop to like just let us go?
Yeah, because I was in the right and the cop was just being an asshole.
And therein lies your explanation. I do remember that, yeah.
It was the 4th of July, and we had our boat parked somewhere that we were allowed to, and we were getting John off the shore, and it was in this like elite neighborhood that he had to be dropped off, and the cop was like, "You can't park here," and we were like, "He's not parking. He's getting out to join us on our boat," and he was like, "You don't live here. You can't be here." I was like, "Well, my boat's right down there in the water."
It's also not true. Like you're not allowed to park at that beach,
Yeah.
but you can walk there. You just aren't like it's not a private beach. the way
Parking
they
is
get around
leaving
that
your car,
is
not
that
standing.
road is a private road. Yeah, so they didn't want a bunch of people parking down there to watch the fireworks, which happens every year. But like, yeah,
But I got into it.
Yeah. But that wasn't a public freak
I
out.
was-
That was
I
just
was
you
loud.
yelling at
He-
like a kind of cop.
Public would be
Oh,
you're
but
doing
I
that
was
to the
yelling,
cop
and he
at the
threatened to
mall.
arrest Johnny. He threatened to arrest all the driver of the car. He threatened to arrest me if I didn't
Can you
stop, and I
citizens arrest
didn't.
a
And
cop?
Joe, after a while, just like grabbed me aside and was like, "Let me deal with it."
Yeah.
Joe's good at that.
Oh yeah,
He dealt with an officer recently on my behalf, and it went well.
yeah, we were walking back because Luke was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna propose to Yanka," and I was like, "What's your plan?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I figure we'll
Congrats,
go to
by the way, dude.
Salsa." I was like, "Let me stop you right there," and I was like, "Yo, check out this hike. Well, I'll take you on this hike because that's a good place to do it." And he was like, "All right, let's bring our friend Gat and like a couple of bunch of beers." and we went and got wasted on the
Couple of a bunch.
Yeah, we got wasted on the hill, and we're walking back, and it's high tide, and this
Hi, Gwen. Hi, Tide.
this cop's just like, yeah, you can't go there. It's public. It's private property. And we're like, oh, okay. And we start.
Wait, before we even start talking to him, though, we have to take the beers out of our right hand and slowly slip them into our shorts pocket so the cop doesn't see the beer that we have.
I had 2 open beers and one in each back pocket. And he's like, where you fellas going?
And both backpacks are clearly filled with empty beer.
Clearly filled.
And the
full
cop
beer.
directly asks, he goes, anything I should be worried about in the backpacks? And Joe's like, nah, we're good.
No. What I said was,
It's not
I
really
said,
a freak out, though.
no, but that's what I'm saying.
No, I was just talking about how Joe's good at dealing with cops. Kara's the one that freaked out.
Yeah, I just don't deal with them. I just told, because he kept asking questions. He was
Thanks,
like,
Kara.
he was like, where you guys going? I'm like, we're just walking. And he's like, what's in the backpack? Just walking. Everything he said, I just said, just walking. And I just kept walking. And he was like,
and we clearly were just walking.
and he just
so-
shrugged. He was like, all right, keep going. It's like, I'm not
because
gonna
if you
answer
had
that.
said something like,
if
"Oh,
these
wouldn't
with
you
cell
like to
phones,
know?"
Like, it'll come back to bite me. Like,
Yeah, it's not worth it. If they're going to actually keep walking or whatever, you know.
like I win.
Well, they don't have any probable cause there. Because what if they decide to stop you and search your bags for no reason for walking, and then they find out thing? You can be like, "I'm definitely suing you now," and it's like, "Fuck yeah, I totally violated your constitutional rights. Oopsie poopsie." Like it's not worth it, even though he knew you had beer cans.
Yeah, I wonder where he goes to shit. Like if you're a cop,
Oh,
and you're on
they
the
got
road.
the station right there.
Oh, they do.
No, they could shit. Cops are welcome everywhere. That's why.
Oh, so you
the
can just
whole
go into
cops
Dunkin'
love, you know where
Donuts
the
and be like,
cops
yeah, I'm about
love
to
donuts
unload.
myth comes
In a
from?
good way.
I don't think they're going to say anything, and if they did, like whatever, the other
guys
cops
know-
would show up
you
and
guys-
be like, "Yeah, hey Frank, yeah, all
Shoot
right,
away.
You guys know
Jump
where
in the
that
middle.
whole
taking him right to jail. Like,
Yeah.
we got him."
No,
Yeah, well,
you
we'll
guys
take
know where
care-
the whole
we'll take
cops
it
love
from
donuts
here.
thing comes from, right?
The what?
Cops love donuts. Our uncle, the cop, explained it to us. Is because cops used to sit and do their paperwork in their cars, like at night, while they were on patrol, so they didn't have to do it after their shift. And so coffee shops and diners would just give cops free coffee so that they could do it. They would do it in their coffee shop because it looks good at late night to have like a 24-hour diner to have a cop parked out front and a guy sitting there so
Right.
no one robs you. So in exchange, hey, you have a place to sit and do your paperwork, and to make it worthwhile, like I'll give you some free coffee and some donuts. So the idea that you always saw cops coming in for free coffee or whatever is like, yeah, it's a quid pro quo
No, it totally makes sense. Yeah,
I don't know why I brought that up. It's not a good story.
I'm gonna play the rest of this guy freaking out because
Okay.
I find him fascinating.
You're everything that's gone wrong in this world. You're a suck.
You're everything that's gone wrong in this world.
You don't think this guy who
No
sees
cap-
himself as an artist is maybe a little bitter that his career hasn't turned?
Isn't
Because the
that
guy's
so
older.
clearly what's happening though? That's why I end up feeling bad. You know?
Because like he is angry that this young guy, because he wishes he was young and could try over, and this guy is young and this is how he's going about it.
Yeah, he's
is-
busking in the corner and he sounds like shit, which maybe the guy sounded like shit. Like you said, like in the
He
clip
probably
that
does,
I heard,
but-
he kind of sounded like shit. But you know, I just imagine going up to somebody that sounds like shit and just telling them they sound like shit. That's just not a constructive way to tell them. You know,
Oh, Kara and I decided we do that at restaurants now after watching the Curb episode. Or
when they ask how it is, tell them.
yeah, I mean Jerry's like, otherwise, people always go, oh, the place, you go, they come around, they go, how was it? And you go, that was good, it was good. But meanwhile, 5 minutes ago, you're like, it's a little dry. This is a little
Right,
undercooked.
right.
This.
You don't have the
But then when the
courage.
server comes around, see, it's usually if it's a good server, you don't want to get angry that the food sucks because they didn't make it. So you just say it was good, and then then they go out of business and they go, oh, why? What happened? He goes, I don't know. Everyone said the food was good.
Yeah,
So,
that's
we
true.
don't know why
Nobody
we
knows
went out of
they
business.
went out of business. Everyone loved it. Yeah, you know what that's called? This Turkish economic professor. I think he teaches at like Duke University or something like that. He has a theory about economics called preference falsification, and it's just about how most people lie about what they actually think. This is why we didn't see the Trump election coming. This is why. Oh, why did that restaurant go out of business? Everyone gave it great reviews. It's like, yeah, people don't give honest reviews. They falsify
Or how
their
some people
preferences.
pretend that they're, very liberal, and they use that as a guise to attack leftist policies when they're clearly on the right side of the political spectrum.
Are you talking about me?
Oh, I don't know. That's funny that you thought I was. I was just giving an
Mediocre
example.
Piece of shit.
You mediocre piece
And
of
I've
shit.
earned my right to say it. Okay?
I
I had 200,000 people with Bill Graham. In 1975, I want Bob
And now he's
Dylan
giving
up on
his
stage.
credentials. Like,
Who
oh,
the fuck are you?
And
Who the fuck are you?
his most recent one,
Who the fuck are you?
his most recent
Nothing.
recent thing
I
that he could
declare
cite
you
was
nothing.
walking
Good
Bob
day,
Dylan
sir.
on stage in 1975, which is 40 years ago, 50 years ago now.
Oh God.
yeah.
And he walked him on stage. It would be one thing if he was like, I played with Bob Dylan
Right.
in 1975, but you walked him on stage. Like, that's, the roadies do that.
There's so
stuff.
much resentment in this freak out, and that's what makes me feel bad, especially because here's what I fundamentally think about the public freak out. I don't think it would ever happen if we lived in like a zombie apocalypse or a lawless like society.
If there were actually problems.
The problem is they know that if they go for it and just fully express their anger, they're not going to become more dominant in their social circle. They'll end up in a cage because we have jail and laws and all that. So there's a fundamental, when you hold up a camera to someone, you go, I dare you to hit me. They get more angry with what they say because they know if they hit you, it's so obvious that you're going to get convicted of assault because
I don't
there's
know about
cameras
that because a
everywhere.
lot of the public freakout videos, someone goes, get that camera out of my face. And they go, don't touch me. Don't touch my phone. And people will just be
That's
slapping at their phone. And that's assault. As soon as you try to take someone's phone away or take their property, you can get charged with
Why?
theft, assault, battery,
because
like
you're just
all those
assaulting
sorts.
someone's property.
Don't cops
All
do
you
that?
have to say is, I'm calling the cops. And then if they take your phone from you, that is I
Citizen's
think, a pretty
arrest?
severe. No,
But
that's
how
a
do you know
pretty
I take your
severe
phone away from you
misdemeanor.
if I smash it?
That's stopping somebody from contacting the police is a crime. Even if you think they're calling a false police report, you're not allowed to make that decision.
Says who? Where is
So-
that in the code?
Like if you get in a fight with your girlfriend and you take the phone away from her because she wants to call the cops,
First
and
off,
she
why
goes
do you
next
let your
door and calls the
girlfriend
cops.
have a
That's
Yeah,
an extra charge.
Where is that in
you
the
get.
penal code? What code number is that? You've read this in the penal code?
No, I know a guy who got kicked out of his home for it because his wife was drunk and screaming and was going to wake up the kids, and then he locked her in the bedroom and she said she was going to call the cops, so he took her phone away, and then he lost the house because of that.
What state was that in?
New York.
So it does depend on the state. I looked up some of these laws about when you're
Yeah.
allowed to record somebody and when you're not. So
Most states is a one-party consent.
well, there are
New York is one
there
party,
are
I think.
10 or 12 states that are two-party consent.
Yeah.
California is one of them.
But you just need to let somebody know.
No, they need to consent. It's not just letting them know.
Okay.
So when you make a like, let's say, Joe, you go into a meeting at work and you're suspicious that somebody's trying to unfairly fire you or something, and you
Right.
have your phone in
Racism.
your pocket and you're recording it. That's allowed in New York State. Although there's a little bit of murkiness with the idea that if the person has the law literally states it as a reasonable expectation of privacy. So if you do that in like a bedroom where we're in a private house, you might not be able to have that stand up.
It might not be admissible.
But if you're in the office in a public workplace,
Exactly.
building open to the public, and he left the door to his office open when he called you in, that's all reasonable things you can say. There's no
Exactly.
expectation of privacy. Everyone at work could hear me.
Exactly.
I was just making sure that I could record it for legal reasons.
Exactly,
too.
yeah. And
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I think North Carolina, or no, not North Carolina, but one of the companies that I think our gas company, I forget what state, Virginia or something, but they were in a two-party consent state or something, and I got a call from them saying, like, this call will be monitored for blah, blah, blah. Like, they said that at the beginning of the call.
Yeah.
And then she just started talking. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't consent to that. She goes, well, I'm sorry, it's automatic. It does that. And then she went back into trying to, like, sell me something. I was like, well, no, I said I don't consent for that. And you said you can't turn it off. She's like, no. I was like, then you need to hang up. And she's like,
Wait,
okay,
but
I'm
are
sorry,
you-
sir, if you're not
were you
interested.
in a one
Like,
party, or
she was
she
trying
was?
No, she was. But she was trying to get me to hang up because, like, I bet she gets in trouble for hanging up on customers. if
Oh,
you're
yeah,
supposed to
she's
make
not
sales.
allowed to just hang
and
up. Yeah,
I wasn't
that
going to
makes
hang up because I was right. I said, I don't consent. You can't record me right now. Oh, Jesus.
Johnny's saying,
Yeah, I was like, you can't record
me right now, and his wife comes
Sorry,
behind
Kara
him.
snuck up on me.
also,
What's
we've
up?
seen her for like 10 seconds. if
Yeah,
Johnny
no,
didn't, yeah.
that was a great reaction. Can we get a video of that? Can we get a clip of that? We'll post it on
Patreon.
on Patreon only. Yeah,
With the snake porn.
like
the
shit-
snake bondage porn.
was that last episode?
Oh,
you
sorry.
promised that?
That's it. I'm crossing episodes.
Yeah.
Wait, that's it. I knew we would accidentally do it. If we record 2 episodes a night, we'll accidentally cross-pollinate the second episode
Yeah,
with...
that's what we'll do. Cross pollinate. But that does mean you have to listen to every episode.
If you
whoever
message
you are.
us on Twitter or anywhere,
Yeah,
pick your medium, and you tell us that detail, And you notice that?
Don't snap your fingers and make promises, Luke. I know you're about to do it.
If you
already
notice that
done half of it.
cross-pollination where I talked about bondage
Yeah.
snake
All right,
porn twice,
If you tweet at us bondage snake porn,
we'll give you a mug with our logo on it.
Luke will make that promise. I will not. Yes.
All right, I
correct.
got to go, guys.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it. I got to go cook dinner.
Oh, okay.
Kara doesn't know how, so
What time is it?
it's like 7 o'clock.
That's not a real time.
No, what time is it
All right.
here? That's what we care
I got to
about.
go, though. I got to cook some meatballs. Love you guys. You
Peace.
got
All right.
this from here.
Later.
Sorry, I suck.
That's fine. Go cook your meaty balls.
Oh, wait, this is a clever way to win the hang-up game.
Should I hang up?
Nah. I think we got a few more clips to analyze, though.
That's fine.
All right, let's hear the end of this trumpet player guy.
Oh, we didn't finish that?
No, it keeps going.
Oh,
that's
God.
what's so genius
All
about
right,
it.
keep it going. Keep it going.
You are nothing,
You're nothing.
and you will never be anything.
That's what he was told.
Never.
Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare
You
you?
miserable, mediocre nothing.
He looks at his
Shame
phone
on
like-
you.
But now he's tired, you know?
You cracked, stupid little smile. You little pimp. Go learn to play. Go learn to play. You're flat. You can't even carry a fucking note. I don't
You're
care if it's a
flat.
little, like, horn lip. It doesn't mean that you know how to play. You're flat. I'm trained classically. I'm trained contemporaneously. And you suck.
Go away.
No! No.
I feel like it's like a video game and you just happen to across him or something.
So there's two things going on. One or two possibilities. One is that this is all staged because that is insane,
yeah.
which is always possible. But two is that that's all a sad reflection upon that person's own life. And like I was saying,
I think he's yelling at the guy with what went wrong in his life.
yeah, he's yelling about himself to that guy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of really, 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 really sad.
It's really sad. And like
Yeah.
the same feeling I got when I analyzed this Bagel Freakout more,
yeah.
because I watched this. We'll post a bunch of links, but
Sure.
there was a new. I mean, allegedly we might
Like
post a
Sharon
bunch
and
of links.
Vibe.
Hey Luke, if you're editing this and you happen to stop on this moment, don't forget to post the links. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, we're set now.
That's my
Yeah.
version of a reminder.
He has a computer now,
Dude, I noticed a bug in our phones, me and Yanka at home.
like a
When
mosquito?
I set a timer, it forgets it sometimes.
Oh,
It's kind of fucked because like I set timers for
Yeah,
things
that's not
that are
good.
important. Like
yeah, like waking up in the morning.
well, not only that, like while a timer is different than an alarm, the alarms seem fine, but the timer is like I'll literally say, "Hey SIRI." If I say it, she'll
Siri?
wake up. Yeah, it won't work with your voice. She knows me
I don't believe you.
and me alone.
What is it called?
So if I say, "Hey SIRI,"
Who?
Siri, I have to say
Bullshit.
"Hey" before it.
Bullshit.
Hey Siri, tell Joe in Chinese that he can suck a cock.
Your message to Joe Labriola says he can suck a cock. Ready to send it?
Yes.
That's not in Chinese.
Okay, it's sent.
Hey Siri, say you can go suck a cock from the grocery store in Chinese.
In Mandarin Chinese, you can go suck a cock from the grocery stores.
你可以去从杂货店舔鸡巴。
That's
What
what, I
the
have to say
fuck?
to you, man. That's what I'm saying. She knows
Wait, am
my
I going to
voice.
get this message?
Yeah, I hopefully. Otherwise, it's going to someone
This
else.
is why the planet's melting, by the way. Because you're using fucking server space to cool servers to power fucking that. You monster. I just got it. He can suck a cock. Jesus H.
Anyways,
Christ.
so sometimes I say like, "Hey, that," and I go set a timer for 15 minutes because I put some fucking meatballs in the oven or some
Yeah,
shit,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
And then like 25 minutes go by and Yanka's like, "Aren't Johnny's calling?" Mishap. We got. Oh, he's trying to double win.
Does that come up on the thing?
The
The recording?
sort of. I'm gonna
All
say-
of this is this whole operation is only sort of, you know.
So, like
yeah.
the bagel guy, this guy yelling at the trumpet player, like it just seemed like they had no like healthy avenue to get rid of the being a human being builds up baggage psychologically.
Yeah.
And I think if you have a healthy way to get that out through exercise or like you're doing jujitsu or like running on the beach, swimming, like
whatever social
whatever.
or personal activity, sure.
For a lot of people, it's just getting wasted on Friday and Saturday night at the bar.
Yeah. Church.
Hey, that is Johnny. Oh my God, he's trolling us.
Do you think he's trolling us?
Yeah.
I thought he was cooking meatballs.
Oh, who knows?
You never.
For
know
those
with
of
Johnny.
you that are not hearing the ring, we keep getting a Skype call in, and we think like little golden retrievers that Johnny's like coming back to play with us, but he might not be.
I don't know why there was so much sudden.
It's possible he got
trauma.
so high that he doesn't know what's happening.
Well, that's at least a part of the issue here.
No, I know it's part of it, but it's possible it's all of it.
It's the whole thing. Yeah, right. That makes sense. Because he's been cooking meatballs since before the first episode that we did earlier. He was cooking meatballs, and they were sautéing, and then all of a sudden, did you hear that? He was panicking and saying that he needs to get back to the meatballs. So,
right.
Oh wait, they heard all of that.
He's calling me on WhatsApp now.
Morty. Why is he freaking out on all devices? He might actually be trying to call back in. He wants to get back in.
He wants to get back in? Call him back.
I'm going to try.
All right. So, wherever I happen to edit that.
We just spent like an hour trying to get that back together.
And we had a lot of beers in that hour. 2, 3, 4.
We lost beer of count, I think is the proper term. But yeah, what I would like to say about public freakouts is go ahead and have them, folks. If that's how you're really feeling. Is your cord not plugged in?
Oh, no, we're good.
Wait, is my mic
recording.
on?
I mean,
okay.
This is how I will play future freakouts.
Yeah, because I personally, I look forward to your public freakouts. And if you have any of your own, please send them to us at Thunktankers on
I scour
Twitter.
the internet pretty hard. Like, a lot of them are just kind of like not great. Like, so if you type in public freakout, people make these compilation videos on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
And there's like 50. It's like public freakout compilation video number 56.
But isn't it kind of, one of my favorite? Did you ever watch that Ricky Gervais show? What was it called? Life is Short or something like that? It was like a 2-season show that he did.
You mean with Warwick Davis?
No, wait, the one before that. Extras.
Extras, yeah.
Extras, yeah.
I've seen some of that, yeah.
The finale of that episode was one of my favorite episodes ever because it's him on that reality TV show, and he's totally bought into the reality TV show vibe,
right.
The cult of followers, and like celebrity worship. And then he has that moment, that real moment where he breaks down and he goes into this tirade all about the bullshit of it all. And he has this great line where he talks about how the freak show, the Victorian era freak show, never went away. It just changed forms. And now it's the celebrity TV form where, it's like, what's the most popular part of American Idol? Well, week 1 where you have all the freaks come out. Like, what is the most popular videos on the internet? Well, a lot of things, but also people making complete buffoons of themselves, us laughing at them, not with them. And public freakouts
and often when they don't realize that difference.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of these public freakout people, like the Mini Bagel Mike guy, who has a real name, but I know him as Mini Bagel Mike, and that's how people watch they laugh at him. They're not laughing with him. But him in that video is like a very sad, like tortured person.
Yeah.
It's objectively a very... So, and we've talked about
the only good thing I got out of it was his feeling that, he called himself Martin Luther King in one of the interviews.
Yeah, no, I'm not defending him on those grounds.
No, but what I mean is that the only like solace I got out of it was the idea that he is the kind of personality that way too easily finds like the way like the bright side of something. As long as he's creating an evil world out there.
Yes, yeah.
And it's like...
Which is quite common.
Bro,
that's not atypical.
You're not Martin Luther King.
He's definitely not Martin Luther King.
And also the world is filled with assholes. You have to accept both of those. You have to get rid of some dichotomies that you've like forced into your mind that aren't actual dichotomies. Life and death, that's a real dichotomy. Chaos, order, like...
But he's an interesting...
Martin Luther King, like assholes, like they can both
But he's a really interesting anomaly because you're right. Like, I see what you're saying with that. But at the same time, because I think he said that he's 5 feet tall exactly.
That's short.
If he were 4 inches shorter, this is a hate crime now against him.
Isn't that funny?
If he's
4 inches,
if he's
crime.
4 inches taller and he's 5'4", he's still just a loser.
Yeah.
But there's something very fucked up about that fact,
so
right?
fucked up.
Like a lot of what he's saying and what
People aren't nice.
Yeah, what he's freaking out about is not. Okay, ignore that.
We're still getting like
residual
terrorism at this point.
I would call it higherism because Johnny's way too west coasted right now.
Johnny's west coasted and continually berating our Skype with calls, even though I think he has a Skype STD.
Apparently so, because we checked our internet multiple times and we're good. So we're going to have to close this out. But yeah, I think that's a really good point. You know, this idea that, where is that line? If he was 2 inches shorter, is that a hate crime? If he's 5 inches short, like.
It's the whole punch up, punch down thing, but it's also like.
Because at a certain point,
it's also like, are you an asshole because of things you couldn't control?
Yeah, that's a big part of it too.
Or are you an asshole because you're an asshole?
Well, it seems like both. It's
I think they're one and the same. That distinction that we make.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if I know you as a person, and I know that you just stopped showing up to work, and shouldn't you go to work? You should go to, and you're like, fuck it. I know. I can categorize that as you consciously decided to stop going to work. You inevitably got fired. And when I see you under a bridge in 15 years, and you're
this
just
is all sounding scarily about.
Yeah, I know you've already pathed this out.
Oh yeah, like many times. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey Joe, remember when like I told you like this was the consequence of your actions if you continue following them?
Yeah,
you know, like go ahead and get a job at the diner. When you don't show up there, they will fire you too.
And I was just like, yeah, but people laughed at me. And you'd be like, well, yeah, they're fuckheads,
I would
but
have
so
a
are
different
you.
category for that, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's the same thing. It's like no matter what the stupid decision someone makes is, if you were them, if you were in their exact life circumstances and you had their exact genetics and like that led to the exact environment and genes that made their brain and
well, you
would make that decision.
You are them then.
Yeah.
You don't have that outside.
I see no reason why that's not a true statement.
Well, it's the same problem with revisionist history in general to say,
there's a
I would never do that.
To it, like, oh well, if only I were in power, I would never have done that. It's like, yo, I think you just don't know yourself.
That's why I really
and you don't understand that you would do exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I've been crushing Dan Carlin lately, and he says that at some point. He's like, yeah, like how many people would have done this or done that. Like he's really good at that perspective. And I actually just watched his.
He empathizes with the history.
Well, he emphasizes
talking about.
Whatever. He relates to the fact that you really don't know what history was actually like. You can sort of extrapolate based on the sources and what people said, but to be there is a totally different experience. And he just did
maybe Churchill was like really intimidating, or maybe he was really warm and kind, like
or both,
and you don't know which one he was in which moment.
He recently did an episode all about public torture and executions, particularly for entertainment purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing episode, really worth watching. But it ties into everything that we've been saying about public freakouts, and it's sort of this. It's kind of like this voyeuristic, but also just like cultish, almost like sacrifice mentality, where people. He gives a great example where he says, imagine you go to a theater or something. And the people on the stage are acting out a play, and in the play there's a murder, and then there's more murders, and then there keeps being murders. Now imagine that those murders actually happen in the play. You obviously would say, oh my God, you would freak out. You would say, this is horrible. Like, what is happening? Why isn't anybody stopping this?
How was my ticket only $20?
How is my ticket only $20? Like, I got to tell my friends.
Yeah.
Let me live stream this for the podcast.
So I'm allowed to jerk off. Like, go on.
Yeah, monkey away. Like, But he said what's interesting about that thought experiment is that, okay, well, now imagine today what you do is you go to the movies, and what happens in the movies? Well, people, fake murder each other, and it's supposed to look as real as possible. It's supposed to look at least as real.
But it feels fake.
But it is fake.
Yeah.
And he said, now, if you went to one of those people back in ancient Rome who did go to the theater, went to the Colosseum, and actually watched people murder each other in these staged performances, and you were to tell them, well, we're civilized in the future, we don't do that anymore, they may look at you and say, well, what do you do then? Well, we go to the movies and we watch pretend versions of that. They may look at you and say,
that's even sicker.
well, you're just a liar.
Yeah.
You just want that effect without the responsibility, without the actual, sort of pain of having to acknowledge that this is a real thing. It was a really interesting perspective to think about it that way, that we really haven't necessarily gotten rid of that it's almost like a need.
Well, first off, I would say it's for sure better to do violence in a simulation where there's no conscious creatures involved.
Right.
Like, morally, it's better.
Right.
Whether that means
From
you
an
solve the human psychological proclivity to violence. Like, I don't know if you want to solve that, because, like, my potential for violence is part of what makes me feel secure in the world.
Yeah, right. And he gives a lot of other examples.
Would you want to feel like you don't have the potential to get crazy when you're walking?
When you need to.
When you need to?
Yeah, right, when you need to. And he gives a lot of other examples where he says, yeah, there's a lot of examples throughout history, or at least European history, where, they would torture prisoners. And it's, somewhat, well, now not to do that, but at the same time, it's like, oh, we're going to see some shit. You know, we're going to see some real shit.
And unfortunately, like, let's not pretend that part of it is that the people doing the torturing got pleasure out of it.
Well, that can certainly be a part of it. Yeah. So public.
So anyways, this is all to say that, like, empathizing with the person who publicly freaked out is the deeper layer. That's the cooler thing. It's so easy to be like, what an idiot.
Yeah.
It's harder to be like,
well, it becomes
what would have to happen to me so that I did the same thing?
Exactly. And it sort of becomes like a social sacrificial lamb. That's what these people are, essentially.
Yeah,
like,
we're all any of us could be pushed to that limit, right?
Like the bagel guy, and the fact that he keeps getting interviews
he
because
needs a hug. That's what he needs, right?
Well, he needs a good therapist is what he needs, and probably medication. But.
And the hug and the therapist should be
hug's part of that.
Different things.
Yeah, but
the therapist should not hug him, but the therapist should help him find someone who will hug him.
I don't know. The rapist might want to hug him. I don't know.
No. The only reason he brought up rape was to say, he just said out of the blue in a Joker mask.
I said therapist.
Oh, therapist.
Yeah, the rapist.
He also painted his face as a Joker.
I didn't see this. This is a live stream.
Want to play it?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, do it live. Fuck it.
So all these links, if you want to see the video, like, we'll have the audio come across the recording.
Sure, we will.
But the video will be theoretically posted in the episode links. And if we forget to
now
do
we're
that,
being honest.
Just message us. We have other jobs, and
we have many other jobs.
You know.
I have like 3 tomorrow. Maybe I won't
day
go
is
to
tomorrow?
them. It's Friday.
I have 2. Actually, and I'm driving to the city to pick up a TV.
That sounds awful. Why?
It's free TV. It's like a 50-inch TV. It's nice.
Where in the city are you going?
Manhattan.
What time?
You want to come?
What time?
Like, I'm probably leaving at like 6 or 7.
At night?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Probably pick up the TV, have a few beers, and then come right back.
I might be down for that, actually.
Let's talk off air.
Yeah, okay.
We won't tell people what route we're taking.
Like Sharon and Vibe.
We won't tell.
What borough?
Actually, we won't publish this episode until long after that trip's happened.
Way after the TV. While we're watching the TV, we'll be clicking post.
Exactly. All right, what was I finding?
Joker bagel guy.
Yeah, you're going to freak out, dude.
I had no idea this was a thing.
So this bagel guy that we played for you earlier in the episode.
I feel bad we're ragging on this poor motherfucker.
He shouldn't put this on YouTube then.
Yeah, fair enough.
He put a video up on YouTube. He's talking from the van, probably the same van that he claims that he lives out of.
Yeah.
And he painted his face as the Joker, and yeah, here we go.
Jesus Christ.
It's Crystal Bagel Balls.
Oh, God.
I'm here because I snapped, and I'm sick of listening to all the fucking bullshit comments from jealous haters. Now, I don't know if any of you people know or not, but I'm going to be on. And I was just informed this morning.
Oh, my God.
By my manager that women have hair.
because they have nothing else to do, and telling which, by the way, they me, saying I beat women. Let me tell you fucking pieces of shit, jealous, broke, low life, fucking skank something right
Again,
now.
he's describing himself.
You all call me little dick. You all say I'm broke. You all think you know all about me. Well, you don't. Do you know how much money I have in the bank? No. Do you know how much I'm making from my own cleaning company? No. Do you know what kind of fucking jobs I have set up that my managers are getting me? No. You all hate my guts. Well, not all of you, but you know who you are, because you just thought I was going to be another raving lunatic that was going to go away.
You are a
I'm not
raving
going away. I'm here to stay. I'm going to be rich. I'm already famous, and all you bitches that ever use me fucking hate it. And especially the ones that are like 25 to 30. I'm older than you. I've lived longer than you. I've been through hell more than enough shit than you. I've been through college as long as a doctor. I don't need to explain myself to any of you motherfucking...
I've been to college as long as a doctor.
This goes
doesn't
on.
mean you did it right.
Yeah, or you're a doctor.
Or you graduated college.
Yeah.
Or you actually showed up to college.
There's another 2 minutes to that video.
Or you went to class. Oh, God.
So
I need a drink. Oh, here.
It's one of those like, oh my God, do you not... It comes down to a self-awareness thing.
Well, you notice that it's really interesting how we were talking about this earlier with the Trumpet Freakout, how it seems like a projection of who these people are
Totally.
and
It's
what they have
always
suffered.
projection,
And he says exactly that. Oh, you people calling me broke, and then he calls other people broke motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing. He's like, I'm not that, you're that. And it's like, nah, it sounds... I don't know how much you make from your van home cleaning
and it's
company,
probably
but...
more, he's probably the kind of homeless guy that doesn't have to be homeless, but was like, fuck it.
But broke is not just money, I think, in this context.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it sounds
He's
like...
spiritually broke.
Yeah, no, seriously. When he talks about broke, like, he doesn't mention money. I don't think he says money once.
Yeah. Well, he says bank account, but yeah.
But he doesn't say money.
Yeah.
Which is an important word. Whenever you're talking about money, you usually fucking say money. So there's something much deeper there going on. Well, it's deep. Well, you know what I mean, right?
I mean, ultimately, like, I laugh at that.
Oh, I definitely laugh at it because it's objectively funny.
It's objectively funny, and that it's objectively ridiculous.
But it's also really disturbing.
It's disturbing, but I also have found myself laughing at other ridiculous situations in public where I go, ultimately, this is just sad.
Yeah.
Like, when somebody freaks out in public, like...
Well, I'm noticing that too, oftentimes now with just negativity in general.
Yeah, it's like, where did your negativity come from? Probably like your suffering.
Well, so a perfect example, probably 2-3 days ago, I was at a local, indie coffee shop, just, quiet place, like not a lot of people there. Maybe me, one other guy across the, cafe, and then this later middle-aged, probably like late 50s couple sitting not across from each other, but next to each other at the table right next to me.
Were they working on a document together?
They're about to be because...
Oh, divorce?
Because the guy, I picked up on the conversation halfway through because I was working on a book, and the guy starts going, well, you should have invited me. You should have invited me. With just this, like, tense energy, just like almost you can feel the energy. You know that feeling where you're just like, whoa, that's like hot. That's like not good. And
you're burning plutonium, and you should be burning.
And and she's just sitting there, and she's like, "Well, I made my decisions based on blah 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 blah." And he's just like, and he turns to her and goes up next to her ear and goes, "Yeah, that's why I hate you right now." And then he just goes back to eating
how
his...
small, like, compared to this room, how small was the cafe?
He's where I'm sitting right here. He's like where you are. Maybe 3 feet away from me.
That's really close.
Really close. And he keeps kind of glancing at me as he's like, eating his burger. And she goes, well, I guess we should go home. Yeah. I'm eating my lunch.
And he's like, you're not going to tell me what to do, bitch.
And he's like, when we're done. And she's like, well, okay then. And
were they married?
Yeah, they were definitely married.
And he said, we're done? Or like we're done with the conversation.
Yeah,
Let me finish my
yeah,
burger.
done with the conversation. But it was just this like
So they'll stay together miserably for another few years.
till they die.
Maybe till they die. Yeah.
Probably till they die. But it was just this weird because and he kept looking at me as if to try to connect. I think to another human because he's sinking in this hole of his own making, her making, their making. I don't know.
Life's making.
But I'm like, I ain't looking back at him because you know what? I don't know what to tell you. And
if you looked back, he'd probably say, "The fuck you looking at?"
Yeah, I'm not looking to get involved in that vibe. But it's this.
And when you felt that emotion yourself, where you feel really just like, you know what? I'm on a spree of truth telling. It's like, I dare you to look at me, bitch. You know. Like,
and he was putting out this energy though of it's totally inappropriate in a public space to be doing. Like the way that he leaned over and said that to her. It's like there's reason for somebody to come. If that was a restaurant, somebody could come over and be like, "Yeah, you have to leave."
Right.
Like this is borderline abusive what you're doing, and it's certainly uncomfortable.
What you're doing going to make someone say you have to leave, and then the public freak out happens when the restaurant owner says you have to leave, and you go, "I don't think so."
You say I'm broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go, "Well, we're calling the cops," and the cops
don't have Joker
makeup on. Have a very clear way to sort this out, right?
Yeah, they arrest you.
The best public freakouts, though, seem to be like, I watched a bunch of them. Some of them aren't great, but they all hinge on this very fact. You have no actual power in this situation, but you want it.
Ooh, yeah.
So
right. That makes sense.
You ordered a hamburger at Burger King. It came
Yeah.
out like shit, and you want your money back.
Right.
And instead of just saying, hey, listen, dude, like, I got this burger, like, it's clearly just, like, fucked up, like, can I just exchange it? You go up and kind of be a dick.
And then punch your way into the drive-thru window.
Well, let's say before the violence, like, you just say the indignant, like, you know, this is a fucking shitty business, blah, blah, blah. And then they decide, you know what, sir? You can have a nice day. I want you to leave my establishment. And they go, excuse me? I paid for a fucking burger. And they start having to freak out. I saw one with this fat guy doing this. And, like, some woman was like, can you stop cursing? My son is here. And he was like, you can go fuck yourself, you know? And it's like, dude, you spent $3 on a burger and you didn't quite get what you wanted.
Better luck next time.
Better luck next time. You lost this one.
Well, that's like the one with the woman who like starts throwing shit through the drive-through window. And
let me play that.
And then she crawls through.
I wonder
she actually climbs through the window. Doesn't she climb through the window?
She climbs through the window, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I also have the. Have you seen the Lyft one?
No.
You're
talking about
this
that.
one is great. So there's a guy giving. I think it's a shared Lyft drive. So basically, like.
Oh, it's like you pick up.
You get a cheaper
people.
ride and people going in the same direction kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody in the passenger seat in the front. This woman's wasted in the back, and she's like an SJW type like personality where she just sees a hula hoop. Not hula hoop. Sorry.
Oh, a luau thing.
Yeah, the Hawaiian like dancer on the dashboard of this guy's car, and he kind of like super glued it, so it kind of like wiggles as the car wiggles, and like it's just there. And this video starts with her attacking this guy verbally, just saying like how insulting and racist it is that he has this dancer figure, Hawaiian dancer figure on his dashboard. Mostly you can't see.
You got that. It was adorable.
It's like a dark
Lyft
like the
ride, but the like continent of Hawaii.
The continent
so
of Hawaii.
She says continent of Hawaii.
That's a great way to start.
Also in the video, which we'll put in the description, theoretically, it has the text going along with the video because like she's pretty wasted. So like, and she also like talks like this, like the continent of Hawaii, like, and it's like kind of
Hawaii.
It's hard to hear her.
It's even harder when you call it Hawaii.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so you won't get rid of the doll then? Because that was like really cute thing that you found at Goodwill.
No, I'm not gonna not get rid of it because of that. I just don't realize it was a person.
He's also driving.
But so obviously, like you as like a white male, you were like the least like.
But now you're judging me. You're assuming where I'm from.
No, I'm not. I'm not judging you.
Why would you even talk to her? Just be like, get the fuck out of my car, I'll kill you.
You might be the person who is least hurt in this situation. I'm a passenger in your car. Like, that doll is offensive to me. But you don't want to take it down because you, like, found it at Goodwill and it was like a good find.
I don't really know where to go from here. I love this driver because he's also driving.
Because it's
he's like, I just want to not
deeply
crash.
offensive. No, I do want you to take it down.
Alright, well, I mean, obviously you're gonna give me a 1 star, but I'm not taking it down, so I'm sorry about that.
I'm gonna do worse than give you a 1 star.
Whatever you like.
I'm gonna do worse than giving you a 1 star.
And I texted I can't do that, but...
No, I would like you to take me to my destination.
I won't do that, but
Thank
I
you.
don't think my beautiful lady Lola is offending you.
That's okay. You're gonna be on Gawker.
What's a gawker?
I don't know
No,
what a
on
doctor is.
you
So
will.
this video goes on for another 5 minutes,
Oh God.
and finally the passenger in the seat says, "Can you just be quiet?" Like, and she's like, "Nobody cares about what you're saying. Like, you're just a wasted person." Like,
Yeah.
So it's a pretty funny video. We'll post it. It's not quite technically a public freak out because a public freak out means like lots of people gather at.
Yeah, you got to be in the village square. Yeah.
Which the Bagel guy was like probably textbook version of, but there is this one other one, which is, Johnny sent it. So basically, this guy gets on a New York City subway.
Oh, how could this possibly go wrong?
And he has a mannequin doll.
How could this possibly go more wrong?
And it starts with like, you're just like, what's this guy doing with a mannequin?
Not a good question to ask. Just get off the subway.
Please just watch this because the visuals are part of it. But
Jesus Christ.
He starts asking like to the mannequin. It's only a minute long, the video.
Oh,
he starts asking to the mannequin like, please sit down, sit down, sit down. Then he goes, you need to drink some water. You haven't had water all day. And he starts trying to pour his water bottle to the mannequin. And obviously the mannequin's not taking any of this. Then he starts getting angry with the mannequin. And the best part of the video is you see the people kind of fade out around him. Like they're like, this guy's about to snap. Like we're not going to be in the area. He finally snaps and gets into a fist fight with a mannequin and starts smashing the mannequin.
It sounds like some nonsense that Job would get into from Arrested Development.
All right, so Joe, you'll get the pleasure of seeing it, but you know,
but
again, we'll theoretically post this in the, the episode description.
Like, share, and imbibe.
Sit down. Sit down, Wilson. Sit down.
Oh my God, is that the mannequin?
Mannequin, yeah.
Oh God, why is it standing? It can't sit down.
It can't sit down because it's made of plastic. That's why. So we're on a New York City subway.
He's hitting it against the railing.
And people are starting to notice that there's a crazy guy with a mannequin.
Yo, the mannequin also has no pants.
Yeah, mannequin.
Sit down properly.
He's going, Wilson, sit down properly.
Why you wearing no pants today?
Why are you wearing no pants today?
Fuck you wearing no pants, Wilson.
Why are you fucking wearing no pants? And now people are getting up all around, just being like, let's give this guy some space, you know?
Spirits next to me? I ain't recording that. Seriously?
You know.
Have some, Wilson. Have some.
Have some water. He's holding a water
Wilson,
bottle.
have some.
This is 49th Street.
I've been drinking all day, Wilson. Have some.
Generation, they want to record.
I'm not fucking playing with you, Wilson.
I'm not playing with you, Wilson.
I'm fucking said have some.
Oh, shit.
I'm fucking said have some, Wilson. Fucking Wilson. I'm fucking.
He's now beating the shit out of a mannequin on the subway.
Jesus Christ. You know shit's going down on a New York City subway when strangers start talking to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when you know you got to get the fuck out. When
Because
people are like,
the strangers
that guy's
relate
fucking
more
crazy.
to each other than to the crazy guy.
You got to get out.
I once saw a guy.
That's not a public
I've
freak
seen
out, by
some
the way.
fucked up shit.
That's just PCP.
Well, I know, but the mannequin angle is so. And he's calling him Wilson like it's like a Tom Hanks movie. You know? I don't know what to do with any of this.
Oh, I got to go to bed.
So basically, here's what we'll do. We're going to end this now. There's a few other videos. A lot of these videos are really just not properly absorbed unless you
got to
see the
watch them,
video.
yeah.
So we'll
That's
post
a scene,
them.
yeah.
But yeah, public freakout's a thing.
Yeah, we're going to have one soon for you guys. Luke will have a public. If you guys donate a snake suit and $100, I will live stream Luke's freak out.
None of this is true.
It's said on the pod. It is
I don't think
It
I'm
is known.
capable of a public freak out.
Yeah, you are.
I rarely.
You have it in you.
I haven't had a private freak out in like 2 years.
No, I could trigger you. Are you scared, Luke?
No, I'm pretty good. Like when I breathe deeply, it resets.
Luke, are you scared?
Am I unscared? Oh, Oh.
So I don't know if we've said this on the podcast, but
No, but I just thought I'm walking to my car in a second.
we may or may not have gotten wasted.
All right, Northeast Studio is moving.
And we
to
may
a
or may
location
not have
I choose.
submitted to put Luke on scare tactics. So,
And I park by a graveyard and come to podcast every fucking week. And now I understand exactly how you're going to get me.
Well, you understand fear now, finally.
Oh, my God. I'm not happy about that. So if I do have a public freak out,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this on the air so that when the police ask me questions, I can refer them to this.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
If any of my
Fuck my
friends
lawyer.
put me on scare tactics, I am telling them now I am not psychologically stable enough to handle that. So I will go off the rail and it will be on them. I sound like the Bagel Boss guy now.
You're starting to get a much more New York accent. It's on you, bro. It's all on you.
By the way, when he was asked if he's a misogynist, he said, I'm not that egotistical. And the guy was like, all right, this is not even fun because you don't know what the word means. He goes, no, I mean, are you a misogynist? Do you have a problem with women? Do you view them in a certain way? And he goes, oh, yeah, I don't know what that word means, but no, I have no problem with women. As long as they're doing what I want and kind of, But at the same time, he's definitely been treated like shit, probably.
Yeah. He's certainly honest.
But also, he needs someone to help him reframe that life experience and be like,
well, Johnny,
hey, most people are treated like shit.
Well, Johnny said he got arrested and he's in a psych ward, so that's a step.
I thought that was a genie lie. It sounded like it could have been.
Yeah, Johnny also just says things. That's true.
So we'll see.
We'll Google it.
Google that. And, oh, God.
All right. We'll
Is this
see.
a drunk tank?
No, this is a real episode.
All right. Well, it's been lovely chatting with you, Joe, and I hope we've given a good psychological account of the public freakout.
We also just got business cards in, so if you're at a local bar by us, you may receive one.
I was gonna say, what does that mean?
It means nothing.
And if you want a coffee mug, you have to figure out how to properly do that.
You have to apparently email us a snake suit or something.
Whatever I said.
Whatever Luke said, you have to do, the Luke Atheist.
Our lawyers listen carefully to our episodes and put it all into letterhead and contract and all that stuff. How many lawyers do we have now? Not enough.
We have several snakes, no lawyers.
How many dogs? All right. Bye. I'm going home.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the Thunk Tank podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to help us out, please consider leaving a rating or a review wherever you listen to podcasts, and share it with people you think might like it. And if you really want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/ThunkTankPodcast. We have links to this in the episode description and other places. And for as little as $1 an episode, you can help us keep the lights on. And you also get access to a very special Drunk Tank feed of episodes. So every few episodes, we'll have a few more beers and record an extra 20 to 30 minutes of extra thunky, silly whateverness. So there's a separate RSS link you can get from there, and if you put that into a podcast player, you'll get your own separate feed of only the Drunk Tanks. I think we have about 6 or 7 of them out already, and more to come. Thanks for listening, and stay funky.